have a look at that AAV and have a look at all that where it's just popped off. Well, it's just leaked out everywhere. Pressure's dropped out of it already. I've just soaked that in WD-40, so I'm going to let that sit for a little while. This is the one where the trap was all blocked up, so I'm going to be doing a full service on this as well. Changing that AAV and praying that it doesn't crack the plastic hydro block. Right, here we go. Got a CDI, what is it? A 29 CDI Classic. So it's not actually that old, this one. I came here yesterday, just took the case off to see what I would need because they live like 10 minutes away from me. So I popped around on my way home yesterday. I've got to do next doors as well, which I'll show you. We've actually been here on another job where I had to, the trap was all clogged up. So I'm going to be doing a full service on both this one and then there's the Ideal Logic next door, but there's a very crusty AAV which needs replacing as well. It doesn't need new electrodes because it's already got the solid bar one, so that's fine. But I've got the usual servicing stuff. So I've got bearing plate, the front burner seal, the top burner seal, obviously got the cleaning blade as well. So we're going to be giving this a full service today, clean out the filter and everything. You've seen me do a CDI service before. I'll put a link in the description and I'll try to remember to put it up here as well, where I've actually done a dedicated video on how to do a full strip down service on a CDI. I'm not going to do that on this video. This is just going to be snippets of me doing what I do. But if you want to see how I do it from start to finish, click the link in the description or that link above here if it appears, and then that will give you an idea on how I do a full service. But let's get to work on this one. CDI done. Everything, well, the main heat exchanger was nice and clean, to be fair, which I expected because it's one of the newer style ones. Condense trap, there wasn't much in there. Filter was a little bit dirty, so we're going to discuss about power flush at some point because I don't believe the system was flushed when the boiler was put in. So we're going to have a chat about that. Obviously got to go do next doors now as well. So this is wrapped up. Readings were spot on. Needed to do a little bit of adjustment on the gas valve, but nothing major. Like, it was still within the 0.5% tolerance, but I just wanted to get it spot on, so that's what I've done. We're done here. Let's go next door and do the Ideal Logic. Right, here's the Ideal Logic. Now, I'm not going to be time-lapsing this because, well, I haven't got anywhere to set the camera up, and also I'm running low on battery because I time-lapsed that last CDI. But have a look at that AAV and have a look at all that where it's just popped off. Well, it's just leaked out everywhere. Pressure's dropped out of it already. I've just soaked that in WD-40, so I'm going to let that sit for a little while. This is the one where the trap was all blocked up, so I'm going to be doing a full service on this as well. Changing that AAV and praying that it doesn't crack the plastic hydro block. And then we're going to have a look at the filter and, well, just judging by the colour of the system water, I'm going to advise a power flush in this one as well. But let's just get everything else done first and then we can tackle the rest of it. Drained the rest of the water out of the system of the boiler. Now, I'm going to try to film this. Once I try to do it with one hand, let's see if I can sneak my grips into there. Oh, that's right. And gently. Come on. No, it's turning, so that's definitely a good sign. Normally I'd whip these out quick, but where this is so crusted over, I want to make sure I'm not going to crack the plastic hydro block. Right, let's try and pop it out. Oh, yeah, that's going to let a bit more water out of there, so let me, oh, there we go. Right, so that's just going to let the rest of the water out of there, which is fine, which is what I expected. This little folding camp bucket thing from Aldi was about £4 or £5. Find it more rigid than the folding buckets because they always end up getting ripped. This has got a nice rigid bottom on it, and then obviously it's just got rubber sides. But right, I'm gonna let that all drain out, and then we'll get the AEV out and replace it, and hopefully that's all it is. Yeah, that, although the system water is clear, that is bad. So let's give that a clean up, and then we'll pop it all back together. I've put the new AEV in, cleaned out the filter, repressurized it, gone to have some lunch, and just come back. And happy days, we are still at 1.5 bars. Nothing's leaking in here. Giving this a bit of a clean up as best as I could. But yeah, I'm glad that's all okay. It's been pressurized and everything. It's not been leaking. So that's good. Now I can carry on with the rest of the service. Let's take this off, undo all this, clean the injector, the venturi, the fan, the burner, the main heat exchanger, and yeah, hopefully the rest of it should now be pretty straightforward. I mean, the AEV was straightforward anyway, more straightforward than what I thought it would be, which is good. Let's hope the rest of the service is the same. Right, that is always a good sign. Blue light, analyzer readings, that's on low. High rate came in good. No reverberations, no blah, 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 no trumpeting, nothing. Fired up first time properly, and readings all good. Just finishing this off now, and then get on to the next one. Okay, next one, got a Ecotech Pro, and you can guess what I'm here to replace. Vessel's gone, and the PRV, got everything here. Let's get it drained out, get that vessel swapped out, get the PRV swapped out, get this back up and running. Right, vessel, PRV, done. It's just going through P0, purging itself out. Once that's finished, we'll run the heating, run the hot water, make sure everything's working, and we're out of here. Right, so this next job that I've come to, it's an Ideal Logic, I believe it's an insurance job. The notes say that it's coming with an FD fault code. I've spoken to the customer, he's recently bought the property, it was a repo, and apparently it's been vacant for about 8 months. Now, from the discussion I had with him over the phone, I'm assuming it's a heat-only boiler because he's told me he's got a hot water cylinder and an airing cupboard. It could be a system boiler, but I'm guessing it's a heat-only boiler. And where it's been off for 8 months, I reckon it's either going to be one of two things. Circulation issue, which I think is most likely like a seized pump or something like that, or there's no water in the system, and that's why it's coming with the error code. I'm just waiting for him to turn up. He's just on his way. He'll be here in a few minutes, and as soon as he's here, we'll go inside and we'll take a look and see if my suspicions are correct or if it's anything else. Right, here we are. So my suspicions were correct. It is a heat-only boiler. It's Ideal heat-only. And I haven't even powered it on yet, but just by looking at that pump, I'm going to hazard a guess that that's gone. We've also got an air separator up here as well, so I'm going to get my magnet out actually, and might be able to use the Unilite magnet to see. I mean, that's magnetizing a bit, not massive amounts, but yeah, that side's okay. It's mainly, yeah, it's attracting on there, so there's probably a bit of sludge sitting in there. There's a bit in there as well where it's, that's the main bit on that T where it seems to be attracting. Right, let's go and power it on and we'll see what's going on with that pump. Right, we've got, so boiler 00, we've got no demand. Let's pop the heating on. Open the hot water, it doesn't really matter. It's now recognised a demand, but straight away I can't hear any water circulating, which I would expect to hear as soon as that comes on. So the fact that it's not, that's got demand. Let's see if the pump's even spinning, which probably isn't. Yeah, nothing. And obviously this isn't a surefire way of testing it, but got power to the pump. Pump's not spinning, so we've got a dead pump. Bingo. Okay, rubble sacks out. You know what that means. Time to change this over. So I've already been up into the loft and I've bunged the F&E tank. I've got the new pump here ready. Got the new pump valves here ready. We're going to crack this, get the pressure off of it, let it drain into here, and then we'll get this pump replaced. That was not fun. So as you can see, I had to angle grind the old valves off, and then for some reason, even though the valves and the pump bodies are the same size, the pump wouldn't sit inside. Then I had to take the top one off, trim a bit of the pipe off, and now I've got it on. So that's all in. I'm going to now go upstairs, take the bungs out, make sure there's no leaks, then wire it up, and we will test the system. Okay, we are live. That's nice and hot. That's good. I'm not getting the thermal imaging camera out right now. You just have to take my word for it that we have got heat to the rads. We're all good. Grundfos for Grundfos. Job done. Let's get out of here.